Alright guys, we got some brand new Yu-Gi-Oh cards to check out, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. We've got so many cards to check out. Coming out in Photon Hypernova as well as Darkwing Blast. They're kind of announcing some more Goatee cards. Some of them just got translated over here. But kicking it right off, let's start off with the Plunder Patrol ship, Jord. So it's a brand new Fiend Synchro Pendulum effect. Earth, level 8, 1500 attack, 3000 defense points. Its pendulum effect is that you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is you can declare one attribute, return this card to the extra deck. And if you do, special one Plunder Patrol token, Fiend, level 4, attack 0, defense 0, with that attribute to each field in defense position. Okay? Interesting effect. Being able to, as any, you don't have to be playing Plunder Patrols. You can just declare one, and then you get to summon some tokens, and it says to each field. So that gives your opponent a thing turn 1, therefore they can't imperm you, or potentially allowing you to do other things because your opponent controls a monster. So that could be very interesting for other obscure decks. But anyways, this monster effect is 1 tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. It says that you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you get to add one Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. Then, if this card is equipped with Plunder Patrol card, you get to special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your deck. Well, that's a pretty good effect. Second part is that you can target one Plunder Patrol card in your graveyard and add to your hand. If you do, place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay, so you have to go for it first, and then in order to get this is kind of a harder requirement. So getting this in every single deck is going to be a little bit tricky, but the fact that you can do it may be something to take into consideration. All right, next up we got a brand new announcement of the Goatees over here. I'm not sure if this video got removed because it was a leak or what, but let's cover it. So starting right off, we have the Ixeep Omen of the Goatee. So it's a level 4 water fish effect monster with 1500 attack, 0 defense. It says if a fish monster becomes banished except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished, you can target one of your Goatee traps that is banished or in your graveyard, set that target. You can only use each effect of Ixeep Omen of the Goatee once per turn. Now, I felt like Goatee was a underdeveloped archetype when it first came out. We only had a few cards. As of right now, these cards aren't out on YuGiOh Pro, but they only had a few handful of cards in the Goatee archetype I was actually checking out. They had literally 3 monsters. So, yeah, this will probably make them a lot better. So next up we have Snopesopios, the Shadow of the Goatee, which is a level 6 water fish effect, 2100 attack, 0 defense points, and it says, during the main phase, as a quick effect, you get to banish 2 fish monsters from your hand and or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you get to target one face-up card on the field and banish it when it leaves the field. If this card becomes banished, you get to banish one fish monster from your graveyard, add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Snopesopios, Shadow of the Goatee once per turn. Okay. Next up, this looks like this is supposed to be an ultra. I think this was a card reveal video where they were maybe doing some pack openings. Maybe the region was wrong on time. I don't know. The video just got removed over there, at least via this link, as you guys can see. Anyways, next up, we have the Zep Ruby of the Goatee here. So it's a level 2 water fish tuner effect monster, 0 attack, 1000 defense points, and it says you can banish this card from your hand, then target one fish monster in your graveyard, banish it. During your opponent's turn, while this card is banished, you get to special summon it. If this card is special summoned, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon one fish synchro monster using this card you control. You can only use each effect of Zep Ruby the Goatee once per turn. And then the other part of the effect of the synchro monster, which is probably what we want to be making, it's Cosmo Serpent of the Goatee, which is a level 6 water fish synchro effect monster with 2100 attack and 0 defense points. And its materials are 1 tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. It says if this card is synchro summoned, you get to banish one level 6 or lower fish monster from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you get to target one fish monster in graveyard and banish that target. Then you get to add a fish monster with an equal or lower level from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Cosmo Serpent of the Goatee once per turn. I mean, that's pretty good. Being able to banish, maybe get some extra bonus effect, and then you get to add one later down the line by banishing another target. You get a lot of free pluses with this card. Next up, we have YuGiOh Spear of the Goatee, which is a level 8 water fish synchro effect monster, 2700 attack and 0 defense points, and it requires one fish tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. And it says at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. Okay. The next part says during your opponent's standby phase, you can banish this card. Then, if all monsters used as material for this card's synchro summon are in your graveyard, you can special summon all of them, but banish them when they leave the field. So you can actually get more effects off it. Okay. You can only use each effect of YuGiOh, Spear of the Goatee, once per turn. Okay. Next up, we have Cosmo Cody, which is a normal trap card that says apply these effects in sequence based on the number of banished fish monsters. So 1+, your fish monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Mediocre. 4+, the activation and effect of fish monsters effects activated on your field cannot be negated this turn. 8+, special summon one fish synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as synchro summon. You can only activate one Goatee Cosmos per turn. Okay, it would have been really cool if it was to special summon using maybe the materials that were using materials that were banished, that way they're put back in the graveyard, then we can banish them again. But 8+, it's kind of an excessive amount, but who knows, maybe the archetype can go quite fast. Next up, we have the Goatee Fury, which is a continuous trap card that says you can target one fish monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Banish both monsters until the next standby phase. If a fish monster is special summoned to your field while any card is banished, you can banish this card from your graveyard or face-up spell and trap zone. All fish monsters you currently control gain 100 attack for each card currently banished until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Goatee Fury once per turn. So potentially getting an insane amount of stats, because you can banish it from your graveyard or spell and trap zone, so it can still be active, and then you can boost it up, maybe one-shot your opponent. But if it was 1,000 for each card, I mean, it's 100, and it does include technically both players, so if you're able to do something. But honestly, at the end of the day, with all of these new cards coming out, I think, well, they're not even announcing the set over here. I don't think this is Hypernova, but yeah, all these cards don't even have, like, if you see these pictures, they don't even have the set. So I'm not sure if this was a leak or what exactly right here, because these are all in a different language. They're Italian. Okay, well, nonetheless, we'll see when they come out, where they're coming out, because I have no idea. Now, next up, this is kind of the announcement of ninjas. Now, I've already covered the ninjas. Heck, I already have gameplay of the ninjas, which will be pinned down below in case any of you guys want to see gameplay of the newer ninjas. Now, most of these cards we have covered. However, there is a exclusive card that we actually have not covered, which is actually going to be, I believe, these two bottom ones. I know this one's for sure new. This one will go over the fact. But this card is actually pretty interesting for maybe any like empty jar deck outs. So this is Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. It is a normal trap card that says change as many monsters on the field as possible to face down defense position. Then, if either player controls a face-up monster, they must send all face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. So this could be pretty good. Obviously, link monsters cannot be flipped face down. There's technically other cards that may have interactions where they cannot be flipped face down, where they would just go away anyways, and it doesn't destroy, it sends, which is actually quite great, being able to just completely destroy any like link heavy deck, right? And then on top of that, if you're playing ninjas, which ninjas, this is basically kind of made for ninjas, it's got all of the ninjas with more than likely going to be having these kind of flip effects, therefore you can reactivate your effects. So it's actually pretty solid. I think that this card could definitely see some play in the game, at least for ninjas, as well as like MP Jar, Cyber Jar. I mean, I've already been trying to make some like weird decks with some of the newer things on the ban list, but yeah, that's new. And then I'm not positive if this one's new. I'm gonna go over the effect. This is the World Sea Dragon Atlantis over here. I know the ninja stuff we've covered, but let's check out this card. It's a brand new Link 4, looking like a boss monster over here. World Sea Dragon Atlantis. Water Sea Serpent Link effect, 2500 attack. It's a Link 4. It requires 1+ effect monster. So it says you can only control one of the World Sea Dragons Atlantis. You can only use each of the following effects of the card once per turn. So during your main phase, you can banish all monsters on the field, then special summon as many monsters as possible that were banished by this effect to their owner's field face up or in face down defense position during the battle phase. As a quick effect, you can destroy cards on the field up the number of co-link monsters on the field. Wow, that's a pretty good effect as well. This is there's more support for, like, I guess, I don't know, it's supposed to be ninja support, or like what they're trying to do with like flip effects with maybe like the Tindangle or the crawlers. I just haven't really seen so many like, you know, flip effect decks actually be relevant in the game, but who knows, maybe people will be interested in playing them with the Daruma Karma Cannon. Like, this card is actually pretty good. It stalls, you know, if your opponent's like battle phase attack, you flip everything back face down after maybe you use the 80 changer and you're stuck in face up. I think this card could be definitely pretty good. It could definitely pull off some cool plays. But anyways, that's it for the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Let me know your guys' thoughts on them down below. And like I said, if you guys want to see the ninja gameplay, I've already got that. Check the pin comment. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh videos in the future, subscribe to the bell so you don't miss out on brand new Yu-Gi-Oh cards when we do cover them. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!